Have you ever felt that you were different? That in some way, you didn't completely fit into the standards of the world? As if you had a calling, a mission, something greater to accomplish, but you still couldn't decipher it. If this feeling accompanies you, pay close attention. You may be part of a special group, the chosen ones of God. No, I'm not talking about religion, dogmas, or rules. I'm talking about something much deeper, much more intimate. I'm talking about a direct connection with the source of all creation, with the divine energy that permeates the universe, a connection that manifests as a mark, an unmistakable sign, but that only the chosen ones themselves can perceive. And if you are here, listening to these words, it is very likely that this mark is present in you, that you feel this calling, this restlessness, this desire to make a difference in the world. The chosen ones are not better than anyone. They are not superior. They are not more important. They are simply different. They have been graced with special gifts, with heightened sensitivity, with a capacity to love and serve that transcends the limits of the ordinary. But along with these gifts comes a great responsibility. The responsibility to use these gifts for good, to help others, to transform the world into a better place. The responsibility to follow your heart, to listen to your intuition, to fulfill your purpose. And often, this path is not easy. The chosen ones face challenges, trials, moments of doubt and uncertainty. But deep down, they know they are not alone, that there is a greater force guiding them, protecting them, inspiring them. Today, we will dive deep into this universe of the chosen ones. We will unveil the 7 signs that reveal this special mark, that confirm this divine connection. Signs that you may have already noticed in yourself, but that you have not yet fully understood. Prepare for a journey of self-discovery, of revelation. Prepare to understand, once and for all, who you really are, and what your role is in this world. And if by the end of this video, you identify with these signs, if you feel that you are part of this special group, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, you will find more information, more guidance, more inspiration to follow your calling, to fulfill your mission, to live your truth. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can build a better world. Subscribe and be part of this community of the chosen ones. Imagine the following scene. You are going with the flow of your life, immersed in your daily routine. Work, family, social commitments, the small joys and the inevitable challenges. Everything seems to follow a predictable course, a known script. And then suddenly, something happens. Something subtle, but deeply significant. Something that takes you out of autopilot, that interrupts the constant flow of your thoughts, that makes you question the very nature of your existence. I'm not referring to extraordinary events, like a radical career change, an unexpected encounter with the love of your life, or a surprising victory in a contest, although these experiences can also be catalysts. I'm talking about something more intimate, deeper, more personal, a feeling, an intuition, a calling, a whisper of the soul that, no matter how discreet it may be, resonates in every fiber of your being. It's as if suddenly you tuned into a radio station that has always been broadcasting, but that you, being immersed in other frequencies, had never noticed. A soft yet powerful melody begins to play, a song that speaks directly to your heart, that evokes emotions and feelings you didn't even know existed. And you realize, with crystal clear clarity, that this music has always been there, waiting for the right moment to be heard. This is the divine calling, the first and most fundamental sign that you are part of a special group, the chosen ones, and it doesn't arise by chance in a random moment of your life. It manifests in the most unexpected moments, precisely to break the inertia, to pull you out of your comfort zone, to compel you to pay attention to what truly matters. This calling can present itself in various forms, taking on different guises, depending on your personality, your experiences, and your moment in life. It can happen during an apparently trivial conversation with a friend, when a word, a phrase, a gesture touches you in an inexplicable way, opening your eyes to a new perspective. It can also occur in a moment of crisis, pain, or loss. An unexpected illness, a painful breakup, a deep disappointment. Limiting situations that force you to confront your own mortality, to question the meaning of your existence, to seek answers to the big questions of life. Moments of profound vulnerability that paradoxically strengthen you, transform you, prepare you for your true path. And it is in these moments, at these turning points, in these awakenings of the soul, that the divine calling manifests with greater intensity. It's as if an inner voice, wise and loving, whispers in your ear, "Wake up. You were not placed in this world by chance. You have a role to play, a mission to fulfill, a purpose to realize. The time has come to awaken to your true essence." For some people, this calling is perceived from a very young age. Since childhood, they demonstrate an uncommon sensitivity, a sharp intuition, a deep compassion for others. They seem to carry an ancestral wisdom, an intuitive understanding of the laws of the universe, a natural connection with the divine. For others, this calling only becomes clear in adulthood, often after facing great challenges, overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles, experiencing the pain of loss and the joy of overcoming. It's as if life, in its infinite wisdom, prepares them, shapes them, polishes them, so that they can finally understand and embrace their true purpose. And once this calling manifests, it becomes impossible to ignore. It inspires you to seek more meaning, more purpose, more connection, more of life, more of yourself, more of the world. If you are feeling this calling, if you identify with these words, if you perceive this resonance within you, it is very likely that you are a chosen one, that you have received this special invitation from the universe, that you have a unique and meaningful mission to fulfill. You are not alone on this journey. There are many other chosen ones, scattered throughout the world, who are also feeling this calling, who are also seeking their purpose, who are also preparing to fulfill their mission. And together, connected by this common energy, we can make a real difference in the world. Together we can build a fairer, more loving, more harmonious future. The divine calling is the starting point, the seed of transformation, the awakening of your consciousness, the beginning of your journey as a chosen one. Embrace it with all your being. Have you ever felt, in the midst of a storm, the solidity of a century-old tree? Its deep roots keep it firm, while its branches bend but do not break under the force of the wind. This image, this feeling, is a reflection of the inner strength that resides in the chosen ones. It is not a brute, ostentatious force that imposes itself through violence. It is a silent, resilient strength that manifests in the ability to persevere, to adapt, to flourish, even in the most adverse conditions. Think of a river that encounters a rock in its path. It does not try to destroy it with a direct blow. It flows around it, wears it down with patience, transforms it into part of the landscape. Such is the strength of the chosen, a fluid, adaptable force that finds creative solutions to obstacles, that transforms challenges into opportunities. You have probably lived through moments of profound difficulty, situations that tested you to your limits, that made you question your own ability to endure pain, loss, frustration. We all, at some point, have felt weakened, vulnerable, on the brink of collapse. But for those who carry the mark of the chosen, there is a differentiating factor. There is an internal source of energy, a reserve of courage, a capacity for resilience that seems endless. It's not that they do not feel the weight of difficulties. They feel it, and they feel it intensely. But they do not let themselves drown in those feelings. They use them as steps, as momentum to move forward, to strengthen themselves, to become even better versions of themselves. This strength does not manifest as an absence of fear, doubt, or insecurity. It manifests in the courage to face those feelings, to look within oneself, to acknowledge one's weaknesses and still move forward. It is the ability to say, "I feel fear, but I will not let it paralyze me. I have doubts, but I will not let them stop me from acting. I feel insecure, but I will not let that define me." This inner strength is not something that can be bought, conquered, or learned from a book. It is something that is discovered, awakened, cultivated. It is a process of self-knowledge, acceptance, and connection with something greater than ourselves. The chosen ones are not those who avoid the storms of life. They are those who learn to dance in the rain. They are not those who hide from challenges. They are those who face them head-on, with courage and determination. They are not those who consider themselves perfect. They are those who recognize their imperfections and use them as opportunities for growth. If you recognize this strength within yourself, if you feel this resilience, this ability to rise again, to reinvent yourself, to move forward even when everything seems lost, it is very likely that you are part of this special group, that you have this unshakable inner strength, this connection with the divine, this ability to transform obstacles into steps, difficulties into opportunities, pain into wisdom. This strength is a precious gift. Use it wisely, with love, with gratitude. Use it to illuminate your path, to strengthen your journey, to inspire those who cross your path. The inner strength of the chosen is a light that shines in the darkness, a compass that points the direction, a source of energy that never runs out. Have you ever met someone who, despite being young, seemed to carry the wisdom of an elder? A person who, with few words, could give you profound advice, make you see life from a new perspective, bring you peace amid chaos. This feeling, this perception, is a strong indication of the third mark of the chosen ones, a wisdom that goes far beyond the years lived. It is not about pure intelligence, accumulated knowledge from books, diplomas, and academic titles. It is something much deeper, more intuitive, more connected to the essence of life. It is as if these people have access to a source of ancestral wisdom, a knowledge that transcends time and space. Imagine a child who, in the midst of play, says something that leaves you deeply reflective, or a teenager who, faced with a complex problem, offers a simple yet brilliant solution, or a young adult who, with their calmness and serenity, conveys a sense of peace and confidence. These are examples of how the wisdom of the chosen ones manifests. It is not something they learn. It is something they are. It is a wisdom that comes from within, that springs from the soul, that expresses itself in words, gestures, and attitudes. And the people around them perceive this. They feel drawn to this wisdom, this light, this energy. They seek the company of the chosen ones, ask for their advice, share their anxieties, and find in them a safe harbor. The chosen ones, with their wisdom, do not place themselves in a position of superiority. They do not consider themselves the owners of the truth, do not impose their opinions, do not judge others. They simply share what they know, what they feel, what they intuit. They offer their wisdom as a gift, as a guide, as a light on the path. They know how to listen, how to advise, how to inspire. They know when to speak and when to be silent. They know when to act and when to wait. They know when to embrace and when to let go. They are like lighthouses, illuminating the path of those who are lost in the darkness. They are like bridges, connecting people, promoting understanding, building peace. They are like seeds, planting hope, cultivating love, bearing fruits of wisdom. If you recognize yourself in this description, if you feel this wisdom within you, if you perceive this ability to see beyond the obvious, to understand the nuances of life, to inspire others with your words and actions, it is very likely that you are a chosen one, that you possess this wisdom that transcends age, this connection with the divine, this ability to guide and inspire those who cross your path. This wisdom is a gift. Use it with love, with humility, with gratitude. Use it to illuminate your path, to strengthen your journey, to make a difference in the world. The wisdom of the chosen is a light that shines in the darkness, a compass that points the direction, a source of inspiration that never runs dry. It is the key to a fuller, more meaningful life, more connected with the divine purpose. Think of a garden, a place where flowers bloom, trees bear fruit, and life renews itself. Now imagine that this garden has a special gardener. Someone who, with their hands, with their care, with their energy, can make the plants grow stronger, more beautiful, more healthy. This is the image that best represents the fourth mark of the chosen ones, the ability to heal and transform. It is not necessarily about physical healing in the medical sense of the word. Although some chosen ones may have healing gifts in this realm, the ability to heal and transform manifests in various ways at different levels. It can be the healing of a wounded soul, a broken heart, or a confused mind. It can be the transformation of a negative situation into a positive one, a problem into a solution, an obstacle into an opportunity. Imagine someone who, with their simple presence, can calm tempers, bring peace, and dissipate tension. Or someone who, with their words, can comfort, encourage, and inspire. Or someone who, with their actions, can help, support, and transform the lives of others. These are examples of how the ability to heal and transform manifests in the chosen ones. It is not something they do. It is something they are. It is an energy that emanates from them, that infects, that positively influences the environment around them. And this ability is not limited to grand gestures or extraordinary situations. It manifests in small things, in everyday life. It can be a smile, a hug, a word of encouragement. It can be an attentive ear, a friendly shoulder, an outstretched hand. It can be wise advice, precise guidance, or divine inspiration. The chosen ones, with their ability to heal and transform, do not seek recognition, do not expect rewards, do not boast about their gifts. They simply act, driven by an inner impulse, by a calling of the heart, by a genuine desire to help others. They are like channels through which the energy of healing, transformation, and love flows. They are like instruments that play the music of life, that harmonize relationships, that promote peace. They are like catalysts that accelerate healing processes, facilitate changes, and drive evolution. This ability to heal and transform is not a magical power that solves all problems instantly. It is a process that requires patience, dedication, and perseverance. It is a work that demands effort, commitment, and responsibility. It is a gift that requires humility, gratitude, and love. And often, this ability only manifests when the chosen ones put themselves in the service of others. It is when they dedicate themselves to helping, supporting, and transforming the lives of those who cross their path that they perceive the true dimension of their healing power. Have you ever seen a seed break through hard, dry soil in search of light? A small sprout, seemingly fragile, that defies adverse conditions and rises up, determined to live? This image, this vital force, is a powerful metaphor for the awakening of the chosen ones in moments of crisis. It is not a smooth, gradual, predictable process. It is a rupture, an explosion, a revelation. Think of a river that for most of the year flows calmly in its bed. But when the time of torrential rains arrives, it overflows, floods the banks, showing all its strength, all its capacity to transform the landscape. Such are the chosen ones. In times of calm, they may seem like ordinary people, living their lives discreetly. But when the crisis arrives, when the world seems to collapse, something extraordinary happens. It is not that they become superheroes, immune to suffering, capable of solving all problems with a wave of a magic wand. It is that within them, something that was dormant awakens. A strength, an ability, a clarity, a wisdom that were latent, waiting for the right moment to manifest, come to the surface with all their intensity. Imagine a musician who, for years, plays only in their room, for themselves. But at a certain moment, they are invited to perform on a big stage, in front of a crowd. Fear, insecurity, and anxiety invade them. But when they start to play, something magical happens. They connect with the music, surrender to their art, and reveal themselves to be an extraordinary artist. Such are the chosen ones. The crisis is the stage where they reveal their true essence, where they show the world their potential, where they fulfill their purpose. It is not that they do not feel fear, insecurity, or anxiety. They do feel it. But they do not let themselves be paralyzed by those feelings. They use them as fuel, as momentum, as motivation. The awakening in moments of crisis is not an isolated event, a fortuitous occurrence. It is a turning point, a watershed, a moment of transformation. It is when the chosen ones realize that they are not alone, that they have an inner strength greater than they imagined, that they have an important role to play in the world. And this awakening does not manifest only in great crises, in catastrophic events. It can happen in moments of personal difficulty, in everyday challenges, in situations that require courage, determination, and overcoming. It can be the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, an unexpected illness. It can be a family conflict, a financial difficulty, an existential crisis. In any of these situations, the chosen ones have the opportunity to awaken, to strengthen themselves, to reinvent themselves. If you have ever gone through a moment of crisis and felt that inner strength manifesting, that clarity emerging, that ability revealing itself, it is very likely that you are a chosen one, that you have this mark, this sign, this calling. The awakening in moments of crisis is a gift, an opportunity, a challenge. It is an invitation to live life to the fullest, to embrace your purpose, to make a difference in the world. It is a light that shines in the darkness, a force that propels action, a hope that never fades. It is the seed that breaks through the soil, the river that overflows, the musician who reveals themselves. Being a chosen one is not a title of honor, a consolation prize, a passport to an easy and problem-free life. It is, above all, a responsibility, an immense, profound responsibility that demands courage, dedication, and sacrifice. It is like carrying a heavy, but at the same time sacred burden that shapes character, strengthens the spirit, and defines purpose. Imagine an athlete preparing for an important competition. They train intensely, deprive themselves of many pleasures, face pain and injuries, and push their limits. They know that the path to victory is arduous, but they do not give up because they have a greater goal, a dream to fulfill. Dear friend, if you felt a shiver down your spine, an emotion in your chest, a deep recognition upon hearing about the signs of the chosen ones. Know that you are not alone. This resonance, this connection, this inner certainty is the voice of God speaking directly to your heart. He has chosen you, set you apart, and empowered you for a special, unique, and non-transferable mission. This calling is not an extra weight, a burden to be carried with suffering. It is an opportunity, a gift, a privilege. It is the chance to live a life with purpose, with meaning, with impact. It is the opportunity to be light in the midst of darkness, to bring hope where there is despair, to transform lives with your love, with your wisdom, with your strength. Do not be afraid to accept this calling. Do not let doubts, insecurities, or challenges paralyze you. Trust in the strength that God has already planted in you, in the wisdom He has granted you, in the love He has poured into your heart. You are capable. You are strong. You are a chosen one. If this message touched your heart, if you identified with the signs, if you feel this calling, share your experience in the comments. Your story can inspire others, can strengthen the faith of other chosen ones, can create a chain of light and hope. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and continue with us on this journey of discovery, learning, and transformation. Until next time, and may God bless you abundantly.